Well, hello everybody. I'd like to thank you for coming onto our call today. We're going to be talking about how to win the £10,000 startup race. I'm James Schumark, CEO of the startup race, and the startup race is being created with my co-founders Dan, Mike Clouser, and Tofik is on the call today. So it's it's a combination of a lot of effort. We did our first race it was 2019, just before COVID came along. But anyway, so just a reminder of the process. So the idea was that way back in April, we gave people the opportunity to benefit from the resources on LeanStack. So they could learn startup secrets, they could model their business, validate their assumptions, have an opportunity to build a team if they're just a solo founder, create what we call a minimum revenue product, because in business we need to have something to sell. And then the £10,000 startup race begins on the 14th of June, which is next week. And then work out how to sell and generate more revenue, outperform the other startup racers and win £10,000 cash. Somebody has to win it. I wonder who it's going to be. And I always like to remind people that there's direct correlation between how much effort you put into something, how committed you are to winning, to actually winning. So the person who puts the most time in, works hardest, will generally win the £10,000 startup race. So there's this law, universal law. The people who put the most effort in generally win. And so you need to make a decision whether that is you or not. Now, of course, the goal for us is to motivate a whole bunch of entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, to generate more money than they would if they were on their own. And so the idea is that you take part in the startup race, but even if you don't win, you'll be in a far better position. You will have grown your business, and you will be generating revenue, and possibly with the angel investors that are going to watch the race later on, you might get an investment deal, even if you don't win the £10,000 startup race. So I'm just going to talk about the tasks that you need to complete before the 14th of June. Now, some of you may already have done some of these. So one of the things that we need you to do is to read the playbooks on LeanStack. So that is the foundations playbook, the business modeling playbook, just to help. I mean, these are the most important ones, just to help you understand, the most important aspects of your business. And then you need to validate your riskiest assumptions. And then, as we said before, create a minimum revenue product. And I'm just going to talk through that a little bit, just so you understand what we mean by a minimum revenue product. Way back in 2010, I was in an internet marketing group, and the people who were running the group were teaching us that you need to create an offer. Then you put it on, it's a long form sales page effectively. Then you sell it, and only if people actually started paying you money for the product or the service or the program would you go on to build it. So this is way back in 2010. Then Ash Maurya, very recently when he was here visiting us in Edinburgh, he repeatedly said that people buy a demo, so create a demo. Generally, people are happy just looking at a demo before they buy it. And if you think about what Elon Musk did with the first Tesla, he showed people a demo and then said, who wants to buy it? And then they had a waiting list of people who wanted to buy it. They paid money up front, and then he went on and used that money to actually build the business. It's called in some ways you could call it the customer funded business. Okay. So you don't necessarily need to have anything whizzy-woo or complex or sophisticated for you to be able to sell it. And I had a call earlier on today with an entrepreneur who is just on the second version of their mobile app. The first one has all serious problems, and they need to spend thousands upon thousands of pounds trying to fix it, and they haven't even sold anything or made any revenue. Do not make the mistakes that most people make. All right, so explain the minimum revenue products. And this is different from the minimum viable products, okay? So the minimum revenue product is the smallest version of a product that meets enough early customers' need to motivate them to pay you money for it. Okay, that's the key word. There's something very small that people pay you money for. And I'll give you an example. A focus on selling a minimum revenue product means entrepreneurs prove customer demand, increase company valuation, and speed up raising investment. Okay, here are some examples of a minimum revenue product. Pop-up juice bar, one of the easiest things an entrepreneur can do. Just create something very simple and just seeing if people want to buy it. I should have done this way back when I was trying to do a juicing business. After I'd done my motorbike business, importing motorbikes from Los Angeles to Edinburgh, and I wasted 6 months doing a marketing plan. I should have just had a pop-up juice bar in the Meadows here in Edinburgh. Another example of minimum revenue products is what we call a pre-order discount. And as you can see, here's an example. Canvas white shoes, pre-order now. And very often businesses will do that, especially in the game industry. Here's another example. The previous one was for a physical product. This is for a pre-order on a SaaS subscription. So you buy early, you get a discount. Even before the product is ready, people could be paying you money, and then you build it. Another minimum revenue product is what we call early access to a beta version. And as you can see, this is Call of Duty Vanguard pre-order, get an open beta early access. So again, people are paying money even before the product is ready. And earlier on, I was talking to Mike and myself, one of our friends. He did a crowdfunding campaign to produce some headphones, and Mike paid for the headphones, but he didn't receive them for 2 years. There was a number of complex things that affected that. One of them was COVID disrupting, and I think it was probably these things came from China, so they probably got caught up in the Panama Canal. Was it the Panama Canal or the other one? Anyway, the one in
Suez Canal.
Suez Canal, that's right. The Suez Canal, thanks for that. But yeah, you can sell early access to a beta version, or you can just sell an hour of your time. Yeah, you can use Calendly, just connect it to a Stripe account and ask people to pay you for an hour of your time. It's very simple. And entrepreneurs generally try to overcomplicate things, get caught up in perfectionitis, and we want the startup race to prevent you from becoming infected with this perfectionitis virus. Okay, so some tasks that you need to complete before the 14th of June. Well, I think I've gone through this already, haven't I? Yeah, so read the playbooks on NeedSec if you've not, validate your business model assumptions, create a minimum revenue product, and then incorporate a business here in the UK with one director, okay? And once you've done that, open a business account. If you have more than one director in your business, it will take a lot longer to open a bank account. And of course, that's going to delay your participation in the £10,000 startup race. As you can see here, there is a link, friendlyscore.com, and you can find out what supported banks are. Please do not open a business bank account with Wise, because unfortunately Wise is not compatible with our systems that we're going to be using to track each person's progress. Now, it's important that you do not generate, well, we're just making a statement, okay, that no revenue will be valid until the business bank account is opened, okay? And so any revenue or any suggestion that you've made money before your business bank account is opened will not be counted as part of your progress in the startup race. All right, tasks to, is there anything I've missed, guys, before I move on to the next section? Dan or Mike? Okay, tasks to complete after the 14th of June. These, what we would like to say, generally creating the ability to sell your minimum revenue products. So this is the landing page, this is the Stripe payment system or PayPal or whatever other payment channel, payment gateway you're going to be using, and a buy button. So you don't necessarily need to do this until after the 14th of June. We would recommend you don't. And then start connect friendly score to your bank account. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And then start selling your minimum revenue product. And then check your progress on the £10,000 startup raise dashboard. And then finally, we'd like you to complete a type form. We will send out the link later on. A type form with a unique identifier and screenshots of your bank account and links to your company on Company's House. Okay, now a little caveat here, it's very important. If you are an international entrepreneur, you want to take part in the £10,000 startup race and you have not got your startup or innovator visa yet, there are some important things to know what you can and can't do. Okay, so you can get a registered address, maybe an accountancy firm or a legal firm for your business to be registered at. You can incorporate a business with one director from abroad generally, open the business bank account, but do not start selling until you have your startup or innovator visa approved. Okay, so even if you you have everything set up so you can comply with the rules and for the £10,000 startup race, but you don't start selling until you have your visa. So that might mean you don't start until 1 month. You don't start selling until the end of July or August or whatever. But of course, you can still win the startup race by selling more than anybody else. And this is the date that the £10,000 startup race is going to finish. It's going to finish on the 24th of December, and then we'll have a period where we conduct our due diligence to make sure that the person who has generated the most revenue hasn't cheated. And so that will take a period of time. So the £10,000 will be awarded in the new year, 2023. Okay, so that will give you and your business a great boost in 2023. All right, so a little definition of what we mean by revenue. Okay, here's an image that my co-founder Dan found for me. So generally, when we talk about revenue, we mean cash inflows into the business. Okay, so this is from cash sales. Now, this doesn't have to be the folding money or the metal money. This can be money or cash that's generated through Stripe or PayPal or any other payment gateway that you have on your website or landing page. Okay, or it can be receipts from trade customers. It cannot be sales of spare assets. It cannot be investment of share capital. It cannot be personal funds that you've invested in the business. It cannot be receipt of any bank loan, government grants, or receipts from factoring, whatever they are. I'm not entirely sure what they are. Other means of other things that we would consider revenue are crowdfunding. So if you do a crowdfunding campaign and people pay you, it's a bit like the paying early to get the early access, or what we call deferred revenue. Anything that Dan or Mike would like to add to this? Anything I've missed?
Yeah, so contest winnings do not work either. So if you enter a contest, say a hackathon or a business plan contest, and you win, those winnings, those cash.
So I was just about to go into that. So cash prize from competitions, any investment from personal or angels, a loan or a grant, or sale of spare assets. So thanks for that, Mike.
So these things will appear on your, will go through your bank account, and therefore potentially would get picked up. And therefore it's important that you identify where you have received investment, or you have invested, or got a loan or grant, etc., etc.
Yeah, so we would recommend people use a tool like LifePlan, and in your balance sheet, you need to measure, or you need to recognize these assets correctly. So they don't get confused with the money that we want you to generate from selling your products and services, because if you sell your products and services, it's nice to make money, but you increase the value of your business. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to show our dashboard now. So maybe Dan, you want to talk through this?
Sure. So this here is what you'll see as a racer, and in effect, what there'll be a central dashboard whereby all your data from your bank statements, from your corporate bank statements, are consolidated into one dashboard where you can track your metrics. Now, this is on the basis of a sort of 6-month race with 3 months of the way through, and I'll run through each section. So we're going to provide you guys with anonymized numbers. So if you see in the top left there, this is the dashboard for 17214. So if somebody else who was, let's say, 17168 were to put their number in, this would all refresh and it would come up with what their number is. Now, it tells you what date the report is up to and what week you're on of the race. Those two items are quite important for other areas of the dashboard, which I'll run through now. So below that is a table which shows the ranking, and that's who's a number 1, 10, 25, and 50, and what their total cash in is, and then also what position you're in and what your total cash in is. So you can get a bit of an understanding of how you compare to the other racers and competitors, so you can get a better understanding of where you need to be. Now, this information then all ties through to this line graph over on the right. And so you can see the line graph demonstrates people who are in position 1, 10, 25, 50, and then your position, number 4. Now, in reality, this line graph is going to have a lot more movement in it, and so it'll be a lot easier to decipher. The practice data that I used was all quite close, but that should be able to tell you more. So you'll be able to then see where you are versus them, and if you're sort of on a steeper trajectory and therefore potentially going to overtake those individuals and climb. Now, down in the middle, there's a table, middle top. This table here is a month-by-month summary. So it looks at what month you're on, works out the monthly cash in, and then it provides a monthly change so that you can start tracking, how are your operations accelerating, or are you doing something have you started doing something that's not working, therefore you should stop doing it and do what you did before, or are you doing something right that you should keep doing? Now, in the table below that, this is a summary of in the rows are the different firstly this week. So it's a summary of the week's cash flow that's reported here, what the week average is, i.e. all the weeks that have gone before what you had got as an average, the racer week average, so this is all the races within the competition, what they averaged, and then a top 3 average, i.e. all of those that are in the top 3, what they averaged for that week. The next bit over, and so we do that for sales, and then we also do that for your 2 largest outflows, so that you can understand what are the largest things that you're currently spending money on, and how much are you spending compared to the previous weeks, or how much are you spending compared to other races in the top 3. Because you might decide, I actually need to spend more money on those things to grow, or you might think to yourself, actually, I'm spending money there where I could actually be using that money to grow instead. So you can consider, are those the best use of my funds for growth? Then over from that are all the outflows. So this is a summation of all cash outflows, so IT services, other expenses, it'll include
insurance.
Yeah, insurances, rent if you have any, that sort of stuff. And so again, those categories are all there. These things are all color coded based on green is improvement, orange is not much change, and red is a decrease. And lastly, we have the net cash flow. This here is what you're doing in terms of, are you generally improving your cash position? This isn't going to affect whether you win or not. The competition is judged on cash sales, i.e. money in your bank account from selling what you your product or service, but it's important for you to understand your net cash flow so you can make sure that you're constantly tweaking and using your money effectively to grow and don't run out of runway and burn out midway through the race. So at the top, in the top right, we have an overall summary position of where you are. So the overall thing, it has different, dependent on what position you're in, it gives you a different rating. So this person here is in position number 4, so it tells them they're in the top 5, tells them what position they're in, tells them that they've moved from number 7, which is a movement of 3 places, which is pretty good. And then the change in cash in is 144K, which their movement from this week versus last week. So that's an overview of what the dashboard will look like. Obviously, with each different person, these numbers are going to change. Your numbers will change based on how your business progresses. These numbers were, the numbers are quite high in here because I wanted to pack it full of as much data as possible. So these aren't necessarily the expectation of where you'd be in month 3, but it's a great thing to aspire to.
Cool. Thanks, Dan. Any comments, Mike? Anything, Dan?
No, I think that's good. I mean, obviously, I think a couple of things that are important to mention to people is that there's going to be another dashboard for angels. And maybe you go over this later, James, but the angels will have peer in, yeah, like that. And they will have peer in other words, they'll be able to see the top contenders, and they can, if they ask, we can put them in touch with you or with the startup. But, you will not be assigned an angel as a mentor, for example, or anything like that. I mean, you're not going to be assigned an angel investor, and they won't be able to see everybody's data, right, James? So you should explain how that works a little bit. So
yeah, so we only make public the people at the top of the leaderboard, as we call it. You might find yourself at the bottom, temporarily. Maybe you'll be motivated to find your way up the leaderboard. Necessity is the mother of invention. And so, we only really want to make the people at the top public. So it's like our Premier League, what we call our Premier League. So we're not going to be making public, the divisions below this league table. And the idea is that, an angel investor, they're interested in entrepreneurs who can execute, who can sell stuff effectively. So going back to what Mike was saying, there's been a lot of opportunity for people to get mentoring from the Lean Stack platform. As I said before, we gave you access way back in April for people to learn the startup secrets from some of the best minds in the world on how to build a startup. You still have the opportunity to read the playbooks, to read the stories of the 2 entrepreneurs, and to make, and to learn and benefit from them. You still have the opportunity to model your business using the Lean Canvas. And I wouldn't say that the Canvas is just a one-time thing. You only do it way back in April. You actually could be using the Canvas and the traction roadmap, which I've not actually shown you here, throughout the price, throughout the 6 months, because it's all about learning, it's all about innovating and trying to find ways to generate more money. So there's been a lot of, and of course you still have the opportunity to go back and watch the videos that we recorded on our YouTube channel. And we have a lot of information in there. Having said that, there is an opportunity if you want to have a one-to-one with me to ask any questions, to make sure everything's set up correctly. I think I did send that out before via email. There is a charge for that because obviously my time is precious to me. So if you want to benefit from that coaching call, then it costs £100. Okay, so that's up for you to decide. But generally, the system, Lean Stack, the playbooks, the business model canvas, the traction roadmap are pretty much the best things that you could be benefiting from to help you build a successful business. There are also lots of videos by Ash Maurya in LeanStack that you can watch, so you can understand all these things as well. So yeah, I guess it's an opportunity for, unless Mike or Dan have anything else to add, we can open it up for questions. Okay, right then, let's move on to questions.
Yeah, I think there's one here. I'll let him ask it. It looks like it's from Joshua. So Joshua, do you want to go ahead and ask the question you have first?
Okay, so my question is about, are we ranked based on sales revenue, or ranked based on revenue after expenses have been paid out?
Well, Dan, you talked about this earlier. Dan, do you want to remind everybody what you said?
So it's just purely on sales. So those expenses is just one clean and easy place so that you can see them. So that's just for your own information. The sales is what we'll be ranking you on.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
So I think Robert's asked about LeanStack. Will we send them a link and will they be grouped together?
Yeah, Robert, that probably needs to be clarified. Maybe Robert could clarify that question for us.
Yeah, could you tell us what you mean, Robert? Or just clarify it somewhat?
Yeah, sure. I don't know LeanStack, so we just log on to LeanStack, and then what do we do? Just go into the website.
Yeah, so this is the LeanStack platform, okay, and this is the main channel in which we're going to be communicating with everybody that's taking part in the startup race. So, for instance, if you're going to be sending us a link to your website or whatever, then we'll be using the forum, which is here, and there's a number of topics, so you can see the list of supported banks that Mike has put in here. There's an opportunity for you. I ask people to put, share their personal profile introductions. This is when we were talking about before the hackathon. Anyway, it's an opportunity for you to use this forum. Perhaps you want to. We have 397 participants signed up on this forum. Our email list for the £10,000 startup race is 1,200, 1,200. But anyway, we have nearly 400 people in here that you can contact. So now, of course, everybody has to sign the rules in order to remain in this hackathon, and the code of conduct as well. Okay. Now, what else? So we have a number. You can always keep an eye out for the events. We have this is today's event here, and next on Thursday night we've got an event with Mike Masnick. So it's an opportunity, and you can watch all the recordings of the previous events. You can download the slides. You can. I do need to. So here we have the replay and the slides. So this is your one-stop shop to catch up with a lot of stuff that we've been talking about. Now, at the bottom, this is where you get your, well, in my view anyway, this is where you can see the playbooks, okay? And you can just click in here. You can read the articles, you can watch the videos. So there's a lot of opportunities to catch up here. Yeah, okay, so great. I think that hopefully answers that question. So, I see that Agnesa has another call, has her hand up.
Hi. Yes, hi. I just wanted to ask a question, and I'm not sure whether my product is suitable for this platform, but I'm going to ask it anyway, and then that will clarify me. Is Hackathon trying to create products like platforms or apps, or can any product be part of this process?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much you need to be solving a problem that people will pay you money for. So it can be a physical product, such as a set of sneakers, or it could be a membership site. So let's say, you feel that the summer's here, let's start a hill walking. Obviously, this is just off the top of my head. So you could sell a membership site, or it could be a SaaS product, anything really that is solving a problem that people have.
So, like a beverage would be suitable?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
You could be selling. I mean, we haven't really specified. You could be. I mean, there's no reason why as long as it's not breaking the law. If you're selling whiskey to adults, it's okay. If you sell whiskey to young people, then obviously not.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Is there room for a second question, or
yeah,
one
sure.
question at a time? If the revenue, because I've tested my product, is in cash, would this still count as revenue, or does it have to be like bought through a website platform? Or does it have to be ordered online and paid through PayPal, and then that will count?
Well, maybe Dan could answer that question.
Well, firstly, one of the issues would be the £100 cap. So I don't know how far your testing goes, as it were. Now, given that as it's all through bank statements, it's only going to be through the likes of PayPal, Stripe, or some form of POS, such as if you used I've forgotten all of the names of them, the different point of sales engines that I can't remember now. PayPal do their own. Can anybody else?
Yeah,
Are you thinking of the AppSumo event?
Oh no, I heard nothing like that. Just cash.
All right.
No, sorry. You know the little card readers that you get?
No, I haven't been using any card reader. I know which one you're talking about.
Okay. No, sorry, because the issue is we can't verify that the cash is sales as easily as we can if you use something like a point of sales machine.
How about if I start with 0? Does it have to be up to 100, or is it from 0 to 100?
Sorry, I don't really understand what you mean.
Yeah.
So the cap, the eligibility to enter this is that I do not have more revenue more than £100. So if I didn't have any money, would I still be?
Sure. Yeah. If you got most people have got 0.
Okay. All right. That's good. So. Okay, I don't go above 100.
You can't have made thousands and then cleared your bank, then put it opened up a new bank account and started from 0 effectively.
Okay, I can't do that. You're saying?
Yeah. So if you've made under £100 and you opened a new bank account, that's fine. However, if you had set something up and you had made thousands of pounds selling it, and then you set up a new bank account and sell it under a new company name in that bank account, you've already made over £100 from that, if that makes sense.
Okay, I get it. Would there be anyone I could talk to further after this?
Yeah, I mean, you can always put your.
Available? Yeah, I could have a chat with.
Yeah, you can put your question in the. You can contact us in the forum on LeanStack. Or just send an email. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
I see George had a question. He asked, he recently moved to Glasgow. Is he no longer eligible for this? I think he means for the race.
Well, we don't prejudice against the Ouija's.
Yeah, I don't see how that's relevant.
No, we like people in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can live we pretty much live wherever you want. You can live on a yacht in off Isle of Capri if you like. That's a great thing about entrepreneurship.
As long as you have a UK company.
Yeah.
I see Anjeza has a question.
No, Anjeza asked hers already.
Okay, you already got it. Okay, sorry. I'm just
Yeah,
going
okay.
through the chat.
I see Pre's hand is up. You want to unmute yourself, Pre?
Hi. So I have a question. So if I am physically selling product like in a stall or something and I get cash, how am I going to, sort of deposit that into the bank account as revenue?
Well, I think Dan has already addressed that. I mean, it's
I believe so.
yeah.
Sorry?
It's not
Dan,
something.
yeah, do you want to, I mean, can you explain it further?
We recommend you use a point of sale machine. So some point of sale machines will allow you to take cash through. We need to identify what the point of sale machine is, but at this point in time, we're only using the likes of Stripe, PayPal, and point of sales machines that are taking card.
Okay, because those machines, you have to like pay sort of some commission. So I mean, it's a small commission, but usually we have two options. So what you're saying is it's the machines are the only way to.
Yeah, it's one of the limitations of the race, I guess.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. The other thing is, I don't know why I have 24th June in my mind. So can you tell me, like, the race starts from 14th June, right? The revenue
Yeah,
making.
I think I probably confused you earlier on, Pre. I'm sorry about that. It's
So
the 14th.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Marilee, you got your hand up?
Yes, James, my question is about the application that we need to link it to our bank account. You will tell us how, which is the application and how we can link it.
Yeah, so, well, Dan, do you want to answer that, or?
Yeah, sure. So you won't need to do too much on your side. So in terms of the application is called Friendly Score. We'll have an account on Friendly Score, and what we'll do is you'll give us your email address. We'll send you an email with a link. When you click on the link, it will prompt you to open up your open banking. You log into your open banking and then confirm that you're happy to share the data with Friendly Score, and we do it all from there.
Okay.
So the only thing we need from you is an email, and we need you to also then click on the link, sign in, and approve the data being shared. It won't give us access to your banking or anything. Well, it'll give us access to see the data, the transactions, but we won't have access to any of the functions such as payments, etc.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Marilee. Okay.
No worries.
Karthikeyan.
Hello. Thanks for the opportunity. It's basically just have a question. I think I know the answer, but before I rule myself out, I thought I'll ask. So we have been developing a product for a year and a half, and we kind of soft launched last November. And we had two people who helped us kind of develop a product from whom we got a revenue of about 200, 300 pounds last month. So does that mean I won't be eligible for this race? But we have properly launched only from this month.
Well, to make it fair from everybody, we put the limit as 100, I'm afraid.
Totally understand. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Ash, you got your hand up?
Oh, hi, sorry. So just trying to reiterate and get into my brain. So got the company registered, opened the bank account, checked it on the ClearScore website, which one is compatible. It's my revenue is less than £100 till date. Connected my landing page with Stripe, so all the payments going to go through the Stripe. So the only thing remains before 14th of June is to connect the account with ClearScore so that you guys have the access. Is there anything else I have to do before that? Yeah, so from that list you've mentioned, I believe the only thing left is to do the Friendly Score connection. We'll send those emails out within the next week or so that everybody has them prior to the race, and they can then
sign up when they've got their bank account ready, etc. For you, that means you can sign up straight away effectively. James, is there anything that I've missed that needs to be added to the list?
No, I mean, it's I guess maybe I could just, I can share my screen again. Okay, so let me go back to what we were recommending people do. So you've read the playbooks on Lean Stack, Ash. You validated your business model assumptions. You created your minimum revenue product.
Yeah.
You've incorporated the business with one director.
Yeah.
You open a business bank account.
Yeah.
So after the 14th, well, it doesn't really matter if you've done your landing page or Stripe or buy button, as long as you don't start selling it. Connect friendly score, so we can start we can give you the opportunity to do that. Actually, maybe I made a mistake there. Do we want people to set this up before the 14th, actually, or after? What did we agree, Dan?
We'll send the link out, but people can sign up after. It won't be. It won't be the link won't be time sensitive effectively. So we'll in the next week we'll progressively get through people and send the links out. But there'll be, we won't start counting from until the 14th of June. And if anyone makes revenue after that, they've missed potential time, as it were, because the race has a set end date and they've started later in terms of revenue.
Okay, so I think the most important thing is you don't start selling your minimum revenue product until after the 14th of June, because obviously you get close to the limit, and then check your progress on the dashboard, and then so I guess this is, we'd like you to complete a type form, just so that we can connect your unique identifier and screenshots of your bank account and links to the company's house, just so that we can just verify and know who you are, essentially. Okay.
So you need the unique identifier number, which we got when we incorporated the company and registered.
No, sorry, the unique identifier is on the dashboard. It's something we're going to be creating.
Okay, so it's not the UTI. Okay.
So it's kind of going to be this number up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, so we don't want people to fall through the gaps and to have missed anything, and we do want to make sure that people have done things correctly. So that's why we're doing it that way.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
We're approaching 8:30. Do we have any other hands up or last chance for questions from anyone?
I don't see any other hands up myself.
All right, cool. Well, as I said before, you can schedule a call, a one-to-one coaching call to talk all this through if you want, or you can send an email, and I'll answer. Try to answer your question, or you can put your question in the forum on LeanStack as well.
Yeah, and James, I also wanted to say that if anybody needs any help, set up their payment page or anything, I'm happy to help.
Oh,
just help other startups.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could mention that in the forum, Ash.
I will do that. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Cool. Wow. What a nice gentleman. Okay. Well, thank you. That's great. Well, we've had about 22 people on the call, which is cool. As I said before, this will be recorded and people will be able to watch the recording if they missed the call. And you guys you'll be able to watch the recording as well. So I'll try and upload it onto LeanStack as soon as possible. Cool. Okay, we'll respect everybody's time on this lovely Tuesday. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And I look forward to seeing you guys hustle your businesses and generate revenue. And ultimately, I'll tell you what, it was nice to pay Ash his cash prize. Paying someone £10,000, that's going to be a unique experience for me. But just to remind you, okay, this is pretty much a warm-up opportunity for you, because next year we're going to do a £300,000 startup race, and the year after that, hopefully we'll do a £1 million startup race. And so that'll be interesting. Who's going to win the £1 million startup race? That'll be a day. That'll be an exciting day.
Yeah. I also wanted to just real quick, because I've got this question before from people who have been confused. Just it just kind of remind me, just so everybody knows, there's only one £10,000 startup prize. So there's no second and third. We'll announce runner-ups, but there's no cash prize related to those. And then also, it is a grant from us. So we are basically our company is giving away money to a startup that wins. Okay, so we're not buying equity, or it's not a loan or anything. It is a grant basically, and therefore, because we're giving money away to startups, we are setting the rules, and we'll make sure everybody sticks by those rules. So just to reiterate that, because I have got questions from people that thought there were second and third prizes, but I said no, that's just for the hackathon.
Okay, well, it's lovely to meet some new people and to see some familiar faces too. I look forward to the 14th of June and to see who's going to hustle and start selling stuff. Okay, we're going to end the call there. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on the call. All the best.
Thank you all. Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye now.